Hey guys, so we'll continue working on dictionaries today as well. Dictionaries are very important in Python, and they're connected with other more advanced data types in Python, like data frames when you work. So if you, for example, go into data science, there data frames are used, so they're connected with dictionaries. So very important data type. So let's practice this more. Let's work out an example in dictionaries. So in this example, what you have to do is you have to create a dictionary of length 30. So what should be the keys? The keys should be random capital letters from A to J, and then the value should be random integers from 1 to 10. And then the next thing you have to do is to print the key associated with the maximum value in the dictionary. So the keys and values in the dictionary, you have to print the key that is associated with the maximum value. So we're going to do, since we're dealing with random numbers, right? So obviously we have to import the random module. So let's import that. And so if you want, you can go back and review the video on random numbers. So what we're going to do is we're going to use list comprehension. You can do you can work on this program in a number of ways. If you prefer doing this on your own, you can pause the video and try it yourself. That's even better. But I'm going to use list comprehension. So we're going to first generate a list of random capital letters from A to J. So that we're going to use the the character, the ASCII codes, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to first so whatever this, right, this is going to be the random numbers. Let's first complete the syntax for the list comprehension. So for I in range 30, right? So this is going to be a list which is going to consist of 30 elements, right? What are those elements? Those elements are going to be random letters, capital letters. So random.randint, right? And then we want those capital letters to be from A to J. So the character codes for capital letters start from 65 and go up till 90 or 91. So we just want the first 10 letters, so 65 to 74. So now this is gonna just print out the numbers, right? We want to convert those numbers into letters, so we're gonna use the chr function, which we have looked at before, and we're gonna convert that. So this is gonna convert that into letters. So always when you're writing a program, right, always check your at each point, check your check your code. So this is like debugging as you're moving on. So print L1. So let's see if the list prints out. So that's fine, that looks good. And what we're going to do next is we want random numbers, another list of random numbers. So let's just copy this, right? And then we're gonna we just want random numbers from, in this case we want numbers, so we don't want the chr function. We're gonna take random numbers from 1 to 10, let's say. Okay, so now we have two lists. Let's print this list out. So print L2, right? So this is gonna print the list L2. Let's comment this one out and just look at L2 now. So now, okay, we have numbers. We have a list that consists of numbers from 1 to 10, and they're random. So you can see that they're repetition. There's a repetition of letters, right? So when we convert this into a dictionary, the dictionary intrinsically in Python cannot have any repetitions. So the dictionary gets rid of the repetitions in the list. So let's zip this together. So zip, we want the letters first. So we're going to do L1, comma, L2. So remember, this is just going to create an object, an iterable object. We have to convert this into dictionary, so we'll do that. Okay. And then this is going to be, let's call it D1. So let's comment this one out and print D1. So let's see if our dictionary printed out Okay, so now you can see that the dictionary printed out fine, and the repetitions are gone. Python automatically gets rid of the repetitions. Now let's add one more step. I want to add one more step, which was done in the question, but I want to sort the dictionary, right? Because last time this was also a worksheet question, so let's do that. You can use the sorted function, right? So d1.items, right? So you can also sort this dictionary just to, you know, get a better idea of what are the keys and values. Looks better when it's sorted, easy to follow. So let's print it out. But this is just an additional step. You don't really need to do that. So it prints out the dictionary. Now it's the sorted function actually converts it into a list, and then you can also use the d1.items to basically print a list of tuples out. But this is just an additional step. We don't need this. So let's comment this out. Okay. So now let's do the last part of the question, right? So we have to print out the key associated with the maximum value. So what we need to do first is we need to find the maximum value. So let's make a list of the values in the dictionary. So let's create again a list of values. So now for let's do this. Right? So value, right? For let's just do val, right? For val in d1.values. Okay. So this is gonna basically run a loop over the values in the dictionary, and then the values, and create a list of values, right? So let's call this L3, right? Now we want the maximum value, right? So that we're going to use, since it's a list, we can use the list function. Let's call this max_val. So that's going to be the maximum value. So max of L3, right? And if you want, you can print the maximum value just to double check. So it's going to be print max_val. So let's run the program. And it's going to print out just the maximum value. So let's run the program. So here we go. So now you can see that the 10 is the maximum value, and this is what is printed out. So note that the dictionary is changing, right? Because whenever we run the program, the random numbers change. So that's fine for now. We can fix that also, but let's not worry about that for now. So now let's loop over the dictionary, right? So for k, comma we, so we did this last in the last worksheet also, right? So now this is going to loop over the keys and the values, right? The items, d1.items contain the keys and the values. Now if the value, right, v is equal to max_val, right? So if the value is going to be equal to the maximum value that we got over here, right? Then you have to print out the key, right? So you have to print out the key, which is k. So now let's run this. Okay, so now you can see that it prints out 10, which obviously is the case because it's just random numbers from 1 to 10. But the keys are going to change, right? So if we run the program again, it's going to be a different set of random numbers. And so you'll see that so now we have a repetition of values. So it prints out let's see, prints out D, okay, good, and then it also prints out A, which is good, and prints out. So notice that what I said was about the keys, right? The key should not be repeated, but the values can be repeated. So in this case, we have a repetition of values. So prints out all the keys associated with the value 10. So, and if you run the program, you'll see that it keeps on changing. Now the maximum value is 10, and the keys associated with that values are B and E. Okay, so go ahead, solve the worksheet. This is an example that is a bit tricky, just to get you more. It involved, the example was very rich. It involved random numbers, ASCII coding, list comprehension. So if you are confused about anything, let me know. And the best thing is that after watching the video, try to write the program yourself, so that if you want to use some other method, that's even better, just to make sure you understand the question.